Alt season is already here. If you're still unsure about your portfolio for this bull run, this video will clear all your doubts. I'll share my portfolio and give you a blueprint to help build your own. Unlike other YouTubers who just throw out random coin names, I'll explain my reasoning, price targets, and overall strategy to squeeze maximum gains this cycle. Before we dive in, if you've got any questions about your portfolio, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm always happy to help. Plus, I drop regular updates there, so make sure to follow. Link is in the description. Now let's dive in. If you think you have missed most of the bull run and feel skeptical about getting massive returns, you're probably new to crypto. As I have said in my previous videos, the bull market is just getting started, and most of the gains happen during the final phase. Don't believe me? Let me back it up with some examples. Bitcoin's having happened 7 months ago, and many altcoins are still hovering near their lows against Bitcoin. Even in the last cycle, altcoins had hardly started moving 7 months post-halving. From that point, Solana went from $1.50 to $250. That's a 167x. Matic went from 1 cent to $2.50. That's a whopping 249x. Phantom pumped from 2 cents to $3.50. A 174x. So yeah, if you play your cards right, you could see life-changing gains. The key is understanding market sentiment, catching trends early, and most importantly, not getting shaken out by dips. They will come, trust me. Now, let me break down how I have structured my portfolio. I have got 2 to 3 coins from each category, mostly large and mid caps. If your portfolio is around 5k to 10k, don't over-diversify or FOMO into every shiny coin influencer's shill. Be selective, the fewer coins the better. But make sure you have the conviction to hold them through the dumps. More on that later. So here's my portfolio. First, I have Solana as my layer 1 base. It is at 15%. It was a small part of portfolio when I got in around $50, and it has grown massively since. I'll keep holding it this cycle because I think it can do another 3 to 4x. That said, as the bull run heats up, I'll rotate some into smaller cap altcoins. Next up, I've got 6% in Near. I'm really bullish on it as a layer 1 and AI play. With Near Intense, they're rolling out a new transaction model that makes it super smooth for AI agents, services, and users to interact. This is only possible on Near, thanks to their chain abstraction and chain signatures tech. You've got to be ahead of the curve when it comes to these trends. I was talking about AI agents way before they became a big deal, and the infrastructure behind them should do well this cycle. I got in a bit late at $3.50, but I'm expecting a 7 to 8x from here as a base case. I'll start taking profits around $35, which would be a 10x from my entry. I've got just 4% in Ethereum. I actually moved most of it into Solana earlier, which turned out to be a great trade. Solana did a 5x while Ethereum barely moved. Honestly, I hope the Ethereum Foundation stops dumping their bags so it can finally pump. Ethereum pumping is good for altcoins. I'll keep holding this small position. If I had a larger bag, I'd rotate into coins like Pepe, Mog, or Pendle. Risky, but they'll print this cycle. Let's talk memes now. If you faded meme coins this cycle, chances are you have not outperformed a meme-heavy portfolio. Even Elio Trades, who is a gaming bull, has 15% in memes versus 3% in gaming. Love or hate them, meme coins are where the money is at this cycle. Let's be real. We are not here for the tech. We are here to make money. We can appreciate the tech during the bear market while sitting on a fat stack of dry powder. My meme thesis is simple. 1 cat on Ethereum, 1 dog on Solana, and 1 degen play on base. That's it. I don't hold huge bags of pumped-out-fun shitcoins, but I do have some micro-cap memes with minor allocations. These are my 0 or 100x plays. As a base case, I'm expecting 8x on WIF, 15x on MOG, and 20x on degen. In gaming, I hold 2 positions. First is Beam, which is a gaming infrastructure play. If gaming pops, Beam will be a first mover. I got in late at $0.025, but regular DCA brought my cost down to $0.017. I'm expecting a 10x from here. Second is Echelon Prime. Its tokenomics aren't great, but during euphoric stages, token unlocks don't matter much. It has 2 big narratives, gaming and AI, plus a Coinbase listing. That's solid pumpamentals. I'm expecting a 10x on this one too. When it comes to AI, I hold BitTensor Tau as a base, but I've also got a nice basket of smaller AI tokens. I'm expecting a 7 to 8x on Tau and an average 10 to 15x from the AI basket, which includes AGI, AI Tech, and more. With my AI allocation, I've got a different strategy. At some point, there will be an event that sends all AI coins to the moon, kind of like how Facebook rebranding to Meta in 2021 took all the metaverse coins to Valhalla. When that happens, I plan to sell most of these small-cap AI tokens and move my profits into Tao or Render. You've got to be cautious with small-cap coins. Most of them will go to zero during the bear market, so managing your exposure is key. In real-world assets, I hold Pendle with strong conviction. I got in early in December 2023 at around $1.10. It shot up to $7 in April during the Uncle Larry pump, then dropped back to $2.70 in August. I didn't sell any, and now it's back over $5. I expect it to do 8 to 10x from here. Here's a tip. If you're holding something for the cycle, never sell it to try and buy back cheaper. It's just not worth it. I learned this the hard way. I was early into the ordinals hype in 2023, made some good money and was feeling on top of the world, until I made a dumb mistake. Ordi had done a 5x and was 30% of my portfolio. In October 2023, I sold Ordi at $4 to buy back cheaper. It then went on to do another 22x and never even came close to $4 again. Lesson learned. I also hold some Goldfinch. It's listed on Coinbase and has a solid team, though they could definitely step up their marketing. I'm expecting it to pull off a 15x. Apart from this, I hold 20% in Bitcoin. However, this Bitcoin stack is separate from my long-term Bitcoin holdings, which are not part of this portfolio. Whenever I sense a shift in the narrative or notice fundamental changes in the projects I'm holding, I swap them for Bitcoin. I use that as dry powder to scoop up cheap altcoins during dips. Also, during heated rallies, I take some profits off the table and deploy them during flash crashes. So this 20% will remain on standby, ready to be deployed if there's a crash. Sometimes it is used for short-term spot trades. Now, if I had between 5k to 10k to build a portfolio with the potential for 10 to 15x returns, here's how I would go about it. 30% would go into memes, 20% would go into gaming, 20% would go into layer 1 coins, 30% would go into other categories. You don't have to get into the coins I'm suggesting. You can apply this blueprint to your own favorite coins, as long as they fall within a similar market cap range while keeping the same percentage allocation. This is how I would break down the sectors in my portfolio. I'd allocate 60% of the meme portion into MOG, which is under a $1 billion market cap. I'd put the remaining 40% into a Degen coin with a market cap under $250 million. I'd put 70% of the gaming allocation into Beam, which is under $1.5 billion in market cap. The other 30% would go into Mavia, which is under $100 million. I'd allocate 80% of Layer 1 portion into Caspa, which has a market cap under $4 billion. The remaining 20% would go into GLQ, which has a market cap under $50 million. In others category, I'd select any coins that align with promising narratives. For example, I would put 30% of this portion into Pendle, which has a market cap under $1 billion. The remaining 70% would go into any coins with a market cap under $300 million. This would give you a balanced portfolio with all bases covered, and it should give you a conservative 10 to 15x return. However, if you're aiming for even higher returns, you can increase your low-cap allocation. But remember this important rule: don't just ape into low-cap coins. Money flows first into large-cap coins and then into small caps. It's smarter to be top-heavy initially, capturing the pumps from both large and small caps. That said, you're very likely to make a lot of money this cycle, but the real question is, how much of it will you take home? If you haven't already, be sure to watch these videos and plan your exit strategy. Catch you in the next one.